Imagine for a moment that you're walking through a dark, silent forest. You don't know what's lurking behind the trees, predators, friends, or nothing at all. Every step you take is deliberate, quiet, cautious. Now picture this forest as the universe itself, a vast expanse of unknown civilizations, some friendly perhaps, but others potentially predatory. This is the unsettling premise behind the dark forest hypothesis, an answer to the Fermi Paradox that's as chilling as it is thought-provoking. Why haven't we heard from extraterrestrial life? Maybe, just maybe, they're out there, watching, listening, and hiding just like us. At the heart of this discussion lies SETI, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. For decades, SETI has been quietly listening, scanning the skies for any sign of alien communication, radio waves, laser signals, anything. But there's an irony here. While we spend massive resources listening for others to speak, we barely whisper ourselves. Earth has sent out only a handful of deliberate messages, most of them decades ago. If we really wanted to make contact, wouldn't we be shouting into the cosmos, not waiting passively? This brings us to a philosophical crossroads. Should we speak or stay silent? Should we beam out our presence to the stars, risking attention we may not want? Or should we continue tiptoeing in the shadows of the cosmic forest, hoping to remain unseen? This is the core dilemma explored by physicist David Kipping. It's a haunting question with no easy answers, but it forces us to reckon with our assumptions, not only about extraterrestrial life, but about ourselves. Historically, the field of interstellar communication began with a more optimistic tone. It was once called SETI, communication with extraterrestrial intelligence. But the idea of a two-way dialogue with aliens quickly lost favor, replaced by the more cautious SETI. That small shift in naming reflects a massive shift in mindset, from hopeful communication to quiet observation. Enter METI, or Messaging Extraterrestrial Intelligence, sometimes called active SETI. This is where things get really controversial. METI advocates say, let's send a message. Let's introduce ourselves. Critics, however, including Stephen Hawking, warn that making our presence known could be catastrophically naive. Why? Because history offers grim lessons. Every time an advanced civilization has encountered a less advanced one here on Earth, the latter usually suffered. Imagine projecting that pattern onto a galactic scale. If another species is far more advanced, technologically or intellectually, our well-intentioned message could invite conquest or extinction. This is not science fiction. It's a real ethical and existential debate. That's where Liu Cixin's dark forest theory strikes such a deep chord. It suggests the universe is filled with civilizations, each like a hunter in a pitch-black forest. You don't call out because you don't know who's listening. You stay quiet, hoping to survive. And if you hear someone else, your first instinct may be to eliminate the threat before it eliminates you. It's not out of malice, it's out of fear. Pure, logical self-preservation. But here's the twist. Despite all this caution, humanity is already leaving traces. We may not be broadcasting high-powered signals across the galaxy, but advanced civilizations wouldn't need those to detect us. They could see our satellites, our solar panels, our atmospheric pollution, clear signs of industrial activity. They could measure the spectral signature of oxygen in our atmosphere, or the faint glow of cities on the night side of Earth. Even without an intentional message, we are not truly hidden. So are we fooling ourselves by thinking silence is safety? Perhaps any advanced intelligence within a 200 light-year radius already knows about us, simply by observing. And if that's true, the whole debate about whether or not to transmit might be irrelevant. We're already visible, which means the real question becomes, what kind of story are we telling? David Kipping explores this with a framework called the risk quadrant, a concept often used in finance and insurance. It maps out the consequences of action versus inaction. On one axis, we have our choices, to transmit or stay silent. On the other, the outcomes, alien civilizations that are either friendly or hostile. Transmitting to a friendly civilization might yield enormous benefits, knowledge sharing, cultural exchange, even a cosmic alliance. But transmitting to a hostile one, that could mean catastrophe, a threat to humanity's survival. Now compare that with staying silent. If we hide and they're friendly, we gain nothing. If we hide and they're hostile, we may escape notice, maybe. Either way, the risk of annihilation from transmitting weighs heavily in this equation. And yet, if they already know we exist, then hiding offers no safety. It becomes a zero-sum game, where our silence means missed opportunity, not increased protection. This nuanced debate begs another question. What kind of message should we even send? The challenge isn't just being heard, it's being understood. Aliens aren't likely to speak English or decode our cultural symbols. So scientists have leaned into a universal language, mathematics. Numbers, prime sequences, physics. These are presumed constants across intelligent life. The 1974 Arecibo message, for example, was a binary-coded transmission of human biology, DNA, our solar system, and a schematic of the telescope used to send the message. It's elegant and logical, but also cold. Just think about it. Neil Armstrong's footprints are still on the moon, undisturbed since 1969. Imagine what a carefully crafted message, an AI agent, a library of humanity's knowledge, or a digital avatar could do if preserved beneath the surface. It would be like a cosmic version of Stonehenge or the pyramids, a monument not just for aliens, but for our future descendants. Because in all likelihood, the first advanced civilization to find our lunar artifact might not come from another star, but from Earth itself, eons from now. This is where the story becomes strangely poetic. Maybe we won't meet aliens in our lifetime. Maybe we'll never hear their voices or see their ships. But that doesn't mean we can't reach them. Our messages don't have to travel through space. They can travel through time. Just as we decipher the relics of ancient civilizations, perhaps one day, intelligent beings, human or otherwise, will uncover our lunar monument and learn who we were. In the end, perhaps the universe is not a forest filled with predators, but with fellow wanderers, each one hiding behind trees, afraid to speak. And maybe, just maybe, the first one to break the silence will not trigger war, but wonder. Until then, we must decide, do we wait and listen? Or do we speak, not to be heard today, but to be remembered